And we are back with another Black Window Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. I'm your host, Ben Haggerty, a.k.a. Ben Real Verse World. This mug is so fucking dope. I'm looking at it right now. And if you're not on YouTube watching this and you're listening to this, it's a beautiful white ceramic mug that says Black Window Cream on it, which you can purchase right now at shopbwnc.com. I just wanted to straight plug right out the gate. Today's guest, Levi Turner. Joey Badass's, this man covers a lot of ground, but creative director, photographer, videographer. He's editing all the content. He makes really, really fire videos for Joey and the whole squad. He's currently on the Beast Coast tour covering that. And yeah, it was dope. We just had CJ Fly last week on the episode, one of the Pro Air artists. And Levi came into town just right after him and said he was down to come in here. So he squeezed some time in for us and we got this interview in. I was really pumped about it, hearing his come up, how he got into this shit, how he moved around and got so wildly lucky to work for different artists and through mentors and all this shit. The story is really, really cool. But more so, we're excited to also release with this episode. It's available right now if you haven't seen it yet on our YouTube channel. We call them In the Fields. It's basically we go in the field with Levi and he shows us kind of a behind the scenes look at what it's like to be a touring photographer right now with Joey. So we went to the LA show, got to experience the shit. I just watched Adam, one of our interns, went and shot with Levi all day long and made a really cool video. So I'm excited for you guys to check that out. But yeah, I don't know. This was dope because I remember when Joey first dropped one of his tour episodes, like kind of after we went on tour, Joey Badass, me and Schoolboy Q, Joey was support. And when we were on the tour, Ashani shot all this shit. And then he was on my podcast really early on, like episode 2. Some shit like that, right? Episode 2, I think. Something like that. And then after that, Levi came out and started working with Joey. And he put out a video. It was like a tour vlog or some shit. And I remember watching and be like, hell yeah. Because tour vlogs are hard to like, I'm particular. And I know it's like there's a bunch of junky shit out there. And when I saw that episode, it was really fucking fire. And the way he made Joey's element just come to life, it was really sick. And I text Joey like immediately. I was like, yo, bro, whoever this fucking kid is, keep this kid around because this dude is fucking so ill. And since then, I've stayed in touch with Levi. I started paying attention to what he's doing. The dude's just been crushing it. So I'm excited to get him on the podcast finally. Young creators just hustling hard as fuck. So this episode's dope. So that's it, I guess, on that. And if you're new to Black Window Cream, this is a content creator community. If you want to join it, we have signups, bwnc.com/join. If you are a creator and you want to get involved and share your shit and ask for feedback, tips and tricks and all that stuff, we got over almost 6,000 members in a private community. You can join. And if you also are a creator and are having trouble charging your clients or trying to decide what your rate should be, or, pretty much every question I've ever been asked is, how much should I charge for this? How much should I charge for that? We created a guide. It's called the How to Charge a Client Guide. And I guarantee you, if you read this shit 1, 2, 10 times, however many times it takes for you to kind of learn the theories that we share in this guide, it's 54 pages long. You will level up extremely quick in the ways that you charge your clients. I've learned all this shit the hard way over the last 10 years, and we compiled it into a 54-page fucking Bible, homie. So if you want that, shop bwnc.com. You can pick up the guide there. I guarantee you're going to enjoy it, and you're going to find some tools in there that you can utilize every single day and level up and get more bags. So definitely check that out. And it's also available on our Patreon. Our Patreon's like a private support community, and if you pay, it's the same price on the store as it is in our Patreon, but you get access to like private Discord channel, and you can communicate with us there, and there's a million other perks. Just check out the options. I don't want to sit here and spiel about it too long, but I know that guy is a motherfucking beast. So going along with Beast, go find Levi on the Beast Coast tour. Say what's up. Tell him you heard this episode. All right, cool. Let's get to it right motherfucking now.
Attention.
If you stop this podcast recording at any time, you will die.
I don't want to die.
Do you want to live?
Yeah.
You have 24 hours to share this podcast with 5 people or you will die.
I'm kidding, you won't die. You're just weak shit for not sharing.
And the winner of the best motherfucking podcast goes to...
Black with no cream.
What do you think?
It's so fucking dumb and so fucking Ben Haggerty.
I knew you would say that. And we're back with another Black Window Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. I'm your host, Ben Haggerty, a.k.a. Ben Real Verse World. Special guest tonight, 30 minutes prior notice, Levi Turner.
What's up, man?
A.k.a. what is it, Films by Levi?
Films by Levi.
That's a good name.
Thanks, man.
How you doing? Welcome to LA. You just got here, huh?
Yeah, just got here today.
Woo!
Yeah.
You're on tour, you're on tour. It started a couple days ago, but
Yep.
we've been talking about this happening for a minute. We haven't met yet.
We just met for the first time, by the way.
Just happened.
And it's really cool to meet people in real life.
Yeah, I know. It's like
because like I'm such a big fan of like everything you do, and it's like,
man,
okay, cool. Like
I remember watching. What was the first tour? So you shoot for Joey Bada.
Mm-hmm.
You've been with him for
a little over a year.
Yeah. And have been doing nonstop, like everything with him.
Nonstop.
Since you started.
Every day.
Which
every
is dope.
waking moment of every day.
Because we had Ashani on here. He was like one of my first guests who
dope.
I met with when Joey opened for Q on Q's tour. And that shit was dope. And I love when you came on and Ashani was doing his own thing. You started working with Joey and I was watching the first vlog, like the tour doc that you did, and I was like, oh shit. And then I hit Joey and I hit him and I was like, yo, this whoever this kid is, I'm like, don't fucking like let him go. I'm like, this shit is next level. This is what you need. This is what you want. Like, this is the best. Like, whoever this dude is, fuck with him. And then he hit me back. He's like, who's this? I was like, motherfucker, what you changed? He's like, man, I didn't know. I didn't leave him a number. I'm bad. My bad. Oh shit. What is that audio that's happening? Maybe I'm too hot. But I remember texting him that shit like, yo, this is crazy. I was like glued because like I watch a lot of that shit and I make a lot of those. So I'm like very particular in the way like I create tour content. You know what I mean?
Super. Yeah.
And you just had it down. I was like, oh shit. And then since then I'm a huge fan of you too. Like I've been watching this shit grow and I'm like, yeah, you got quality all around. I'm scrubbing through your IG right now, and you've grown too. Like I feel like you kind of started out as like that BTS creator and you literally just directed. Was that your first music video?
No, I did music videos before.
Yeah.
But when I started touring a lot, I didn't have time to do music videos. And the music videos I did before were like run and gun, like with the Canon 5D. And
right.
I always aspired to do what I'm doing now. And then after touring and whatnot, you get opportunities and you either step up to the plate or you don't. And so like this was my real like directing debut with like crew, budget, treatment, like
took over New York, like fucking out in the streets. That video is fire.
Thanks, man.
You guys are approaching 1 million views on that.
Yeah, it was mad fun to make.
So it was a Beast Coast music video. The song was called what?
The first music video we did was Left Hand, and the second one we did was Distance.
Distance is the one I was talking about.
Yep, the black and white one.
Oh damn, what was it? I didn't even see the other one.
The Left Hand one is crazy.
My fault.
That one has a crazy story. It's all good.
I'm gonna check.
I'll tell you about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
So getting, it's kind of cool that you had like the practice before, like the run and gun style shit. Like, were you able to find common things that you took from, stepping up to the plate? Yes, saying yes. You might not have had all the answers at the time when they asked you to do it, but you're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do this music video.
Yep.
Were you able to carry over some of the lessons you learned when you were doing the run and gun stuff?
Definitely. I carried a lot of lessons, and I also carried many lessons from working with other directors in terms of like shooting BTS for them.
Right.
And that was the biggest factor that allowed me to learn. Is prior to doing music videos like that, I was on other sets, able to learn and see like how each person moves and understanding roles and all these things. And thankfully, like the crew that I had, like the DP that I work with, Franklin, he was such a huge help because I never worked with like an official crew, and I learned like there's certain terms and ways to approach like a Steadicam operator. And like normally a director wouldn't talk to a Steadicam op, the DP would for you, you know, and like he taught me all those little things. And any moment of like me stressing out, he'd be like, bro, like it's gonna be fine, like don't worry.
Right.
And you know what, in the end, like it was fine, it was great. So
that's like a big, I mean, to have a team that's willing to work in unison is like super key. Because a lot of people, you could get a DP that doesn't want to talk to you about teaching you how to direct, or you know what I mean. But like having a crew that's open armed, like it helps on both sides. Like you bring a new vision to them.
The best thing is having a crew, at least like your go-to guys, like a DP or producer or AD or whatever, like having guys that you can actually become really close with, because you guys will grind harder together versus like hitting up a random industry DP and him being like, send me this, send me that, versus like I could hit up my DP like, bro, we gotta shoot this music video this weekend or next week, we gotta get it, let's tap it now. And sometimes I don't even know what he has going on, but he'll be like, let's go. And that's a beautiful thing.
That's fire.
Yeah.
So getting into it, like I want to, we can talk about how you started working with Joey and that whole future of your life. It
For sure.
just changed real quickly. But shooting those videos early on, before that, like when did you start creating content?
I started making videos when I was 12.
Mad young?
Yeah, I was super young. Like I hit middle school, 6th grade, and it was finally the time when I could take like cool classes,
Right.
like creative classes. And so I took this class called DVP,
Okay.
and it was digital video production. We just had like the little mini DV cameras, like with the tapes still. Like
Yeah.
digital cameras weren't very popular yet.
Right.
And yeah, I just got hooked from there. I was making like little funny videos in class, and then I went home and my mom had like a little point and shoot with the video function, and my brothers were skateboarders, so I just started filming them doing kickflips and
Hell
stuff.
yeah.
And then from there, I got really into like editing videos to music and effects, and I was making skate videos full time. Like just any time I had as a kid, I was skating and making skate videos.
That's so
and
tight.
it just evolved from there.
I had like a similar thing. It was like always at the skate park. I was just never good enough to skate as well as my homies.
Same.
And then just found the
But I was really good. Yeah, I had the camera, and
Yeah.
that was lit.
I
Like,
know.
that was my space.
So when in the classes, were they like pushing you to do like full projects, of production like projects, or was it just like
Nah, it was very beginner.
the basics?
Yeah, the basics. I don't even remember the editing system we had, but it was very outdated.
That's so tight.
It might have been like Pinnacle or something like
shit.
that. Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
24?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was Pinnacle. And then when I took it home, I was using like Windows Movie Maker on like the giant desktop,
Yeah.
like Windows computer.
Right.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Pinnacle, man. I haven't thought about that shit in forever. I remember
Right?
wanting Pinnacle so bad and like, oh,
Right?
man, if I get that, it's going to be game over. Like,
Yeah, man. I went through like every editing system, and I gotta say, like, in my opinion, Premiere and After Effects is the best.
Yeah, it's over
Yeah.
with. I agree.
Yeah.
I thought I would live and die with Final Cut.
Final Cut. I thought I was gonna live and die with Final Cut Pro 7.
Yep, Final Cut Pro 7.
But then I finally was like, I know I have to switch because it's the only way I'm gonna get better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was so happy I did.
So when like you're doing this throughout like grade school and shit into high school, like did it get more heavy? Like you were constantly creating in high school for classes or whatever?
In high school, I tried to get into visual classes. I took a photography class, which I dropped out the first week. I dropped out because the teacher was mad old and boring.
Oh, God.
And like I couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So I dropped out of that. I took a TV production class, which was cool, but it was more like you did the school news in front of like the green screen, and I wasn't really a fan of that either. But there was it was called IB Film, and that was our film class in high school. And
IB
I took
Film?
that. Yeah, I took that for like 2 years. And that was amazing. We learned all about all the, the medium close-up shots, the wide shots, like technical,
Yeah.
like what they really mean, and doing like film projects and watching Film Riot every Friday, and like
The class
diving
would
in.
make you watch Film Riot?
Yeah, we would watch
So
Film Riot
hard.
every single Friday.
I love that.
Yeah, and so that class was amazing for me. Like I met some really cool kids, and I just got to stay active. And I think that was the most important thing is like
Yeah.
in school, I had the opportunity to take one of those classes just to keep me like focused and also like passionate about making videos.
Right.
Well,
and I feel like that's like it was missed in mine. Like for school, for me, it was like the most basic. Like I think they literally rolled it out when I started school there, and the teacher didn't even know. Like the second time I took it, they made an advanced class for me to do it again because I loved it so much.
Yeah.
And I had to teach the new teacher how to use the tripods because she was just like thrown into it. Like I don't know how to teach fucking film or whatever. And it was I'm like, damn, I'm teaching her how to hook up a camera to a tripod. Like it's just screw this thing in. But I feel like now it's more common. You know what I mean? It's getting more common that kids are taking these classes, but their classes are like really, really lit. Like they can do a lot more.
Yeah.
It was, I guess the information wasn't accessible as much back in the day, but do you remember your teachers back then? Or was it more so just like,
I don't remember their names, man. I wish I remembered my teachers' names more.
Yeah.
But shout out to that guy. He was cool. He wasn't like I don't have the story of like my film teacher being like, you'll never amount to anything. Like this is terrible. Like he was actually super cool and like laid back, and he allowed us to have like a free space to do what we want and create. And that was really cool.
were your parents into it, or was it just like
they
you
were
and your
super
brothers?
supportive from day one.
Yeah.
The only time that, not that they didn't support me, but that, they were asking me like, what are you gonna do, is like when I graduated high school, and I kept telling them like, this is gonna work. Like I can't work a job because if I do, which I worked tons of jobs,
Right.
but I was like, I can't work a job anymore because it's limiting me, and I don't need a car, like this and that, like. And that was when they were
shit.
like, oh my God, like,
damn it.
you need to work 40 hours a week. And I'm like, I'm already doing that, like
Right.
on what I'm doing, you know, but it wasn't translating into dollars yet. And then like, but they always supported me from day one. They always, you know, like took us to the skate park and picked us up and let me take out their car and go do things.
Right.
Like they always supported.
I love that.
Yeah.
Was it something that you started like out of high school? Were you doing production jobs, like trying to get paid for it, or was it more like creative?
It was always
creative?
guerrilla, always guerrilla. Yeah, when I like first started making videos, I taught myself everything on YouTube, and as I progressed, like I kept doing that. So in high school is when I made like my first music video, and I made it with the VX2000, and it was just like really spontaneous. But
was it for like a kid you went to high school with?
Yeah, like some random kid like, yo, you make skate videos, like you should make a music video. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. You know. But yeah, I'd use YouTube to teach me like everything I needed to know. And in high school, that's when I got really serious in music and that industry and like building with an artist. I had a really great friend, and I thought he was really dope, and so we would build together, and I got super passionate about it. And I'd always listen to hip hop, you know, since I was a kid. But yeah.
Was that the type of music videos you were shooting?
Hip hop?
Yeah, at that time you were?
Always hip hop.
I feel like for people who don't know who Film Riot is or what they do, it's like the ultimate. Back then it was the ultimate. I think they still make shit.
Yeah, they do.
That's so cool.
They do.
That was like the go-to, get inspired. Like, these are filmmakers. These guys went to
teaching you everything.
Yeah, they went to film school.
They had
like
every camera.
They had
like,
everything.
I'm like, wow, like that's a red.
I feel like they beat the case by having gone to film school and started the channel at the same time, and literally would like use the stuff that was in the school
exactly
to like pump out the content, which probably paid off their college. I mean, that shit's so expensive.
Yeah,
Full Sail. Like
they were teaching you everything.
Yeah,
and super in depth too. Like it was crazy. It was really helpful.
That's the type of content you lean into, right? Were you searching for specific things, or like what would you commonly search for when you were trying to learn?
So when I would go through different editing programs like Vegas 10 and this and that, you know, how to edit video, how to like Sony Vegas 10, like, and I watched tutorials on it. Or I'd be like, how to do this effect, like, or transitions, or if I wanted to learn about all the titles I could use, I'd be like, how to do titles in Final Cut Pro 7 and learn about the titles. And I always want to learn about other cameras and like comparing cameras and equipment and how to do things and how Hollywood, you know, things were made. And that's how I came across like Film Riot. And I gotta say, which you recently interviewed him as well, from the get-go, Jacob Owens was a huge inspiration and like dope. Indirect mentor to me,
right?
Because I watched all his videos from the very beginning of the Buff Nerds when he had a T2i.
Damn.
And he was doing a lot of tutorials as well and giving a lot of insight on how he produced everything.
Yeah.
And that was always super helpful.
It's like those. If you don't have a mentor, like, please lean on the internet, because like you can have an indirect mentor. Like,
I definitely never had a mentor.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Damn. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Indiana.
Indiana?
I was born in Greenwood, Indiana.
Fuck, what part of Indiana is that?
It's like an hour away from Indianapolis.
Okay, word.
Yeah, and then I moved up. My parents moved us up to an area called Carmel, which was like 30 minutes outside of Indianapolis.
Damn.
And I moved there in like the 4th grade.
Right.
And that's where I'm from.
So you for sure didn't have any mentors.
No mentors, no like crazy like inner city art scene, like not anything, man. Like not a lot. It was just me and my homie Pat, who is the artist I just recently told you about. And we were just creating a lot together. And eventually like I found some other creators and some other dudes that were like really driven, and we would like create together. But it wasn't much of a scene, and it's grown a lot since then. Yeah. But it wasn't much of a scene to like get discovered or like build, you know, a big report.
Well, yeah, and it's like stressful as fuck because you're trying to stand out and to no one. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to get your friends to be your audience, and like they don't really understand it. And
especially in high school, like they don't understand it, and it's not their fault. Like it's just different types of people in different cities.
So did you have the vision to leave Indiana early
For
on?
sure. Yeah. I always thought I was going to go to California first, but I actually went to Arizona first.
Arizona?
Yeah.
The hell?
I lived in Arizona for such a very short period of time.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy. Crazy story.
What was the story?
So like I was I can't remember the year off the top of my head. It was like maybe 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I was in California shooting a 420 party for my homie. They own a company called Urban Indigo.
Okay.
And I was shooting their 420 party, and while I was out there, Jacob Owens tweeted, I need someone to shoot BTS for me on a K-Camp music video tomorrow. And I was like, yo, I'm your guy. And he's like, lit, hit me up. I went to assist him. It was like my first time assisting like a director, let alone someone that I always looked up to.
Yeah.
So I was really hyped. And so I did that, like sent him a BTS video like the next morning by like 1 p.m. Like he didn't even ask for a BTS video. I was just like, this is just what I do, you know?
Right.
Gave him the content. He was like, dope, man, this is amazing. Thank you. Like never really talked to him since then.
Really?
Or not since then, but for a while.
Yeah.
Time passed by and I got a random DM from an artist named Futuristic.
Oh, shit.
And he was like, yo, I'm going on Vans Warped Tour. Jacob told me about you. Do you want to go with me? So that was my first like big break as me getting out of Indiana.
Damn.
So I did Vans Warped Tour and it was the summer of 2017. And so after Warped Tour, some time had gone by and that's when Futuristic was like, yo, I just bought the house next door to my house. Do you want to move into it?
What the hell?
And I'm just like, yes, let's go. Like, why not? It was like a cool, super cool house. And so I just moved there. Like, I just went for it. And then I did like another tour with him. I did a tour with an artist named Devon Terrell. And then I was living in Arizona, and then that's when I got hit up by Joey. And I was like, yo, bro, like, this is like my literal dream. Like, this is what I've been working on manifesting for years, and I gotta go. And then after I did the tour with Joey, like he was like, yo, move to New York. So I took all the shit that I had in Arizona, packed it in 3 suitcases and took it to New York. So I only lived in Arizona for like a couple months.
Right.
And I was always gone.
Yeah, you were on tour and shit.
Yeah.
What was the deal? Did he make a deal with you? Was it like, yo, move here and just make content for me full time?
Pretty much.
That was kind of it?
Yeah.
So
like, I'll pay you to make content for me. And I'm like, cool, let's do it.
So what were you guys making? Like,
so he called that house that we lived in, he called it the Sheesh House, and he like renovated it. It was mad artistic, like colorful walls. He had a studio in there. So we were just making like everyday content, you know, like in the studio, music videos. We would travel to go do shows, like just anything.
You could think of?
Anything just to like keep his fan base in tune.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Was it wild for your family to be like, you were just like, I gotta go to Arizona?
Yeah, they were stoked.
Were they?
Yeah, they were super stoked.
Good.
Yeah. It was such an interesting time.
When did you become a fan of Joey?
I've been a fan of Joey since like early on in high school. The first time I ever saw him was on YouTube. He was like 15 or 16 and he was just freestyling with his homies. And I was like, I'm such a big hip hop fan, so I'm like, yo, like this kid can spit crazy.
Right.
And me and my homie Pat were such big fans of him and the Underachievers, and we were just like huge fans of their music. And he dropped 1999 and
it's over
you know,
with.
that was an instant classic. So
Yeah, crazy.
I'd always been a fan of him. Yeah.
So was it like, being in Arizona, was it weird when Joey hit you up to say like, yo, I got a dip, bro?
Well, he hit me up while I was in the middle of a tour with Devon Terrell. And I'm in like the Sprinter van. It's the winter time. We're like in the middle of who knows where.
Right.
And I just got the text like out of nowhere not from Joey directly, but and I literally shot up out of my seat and was like, yo.
Was it from Black? His old, like the old tour manager dude?
It was from Niles.
Oh, okay, word.
Yeah. And I was like, yo. And everyone's looking at me like, what? Like my eyes are probably like huge, you know?
Yeah, you're like, I'm out.
And I'm like, I just got asked to go on tour with Joey Badass, and they're like, bro, you're on.
Yeah,
like they were hyped, they were mad supportive, and it was a process, you know, of like solidifying everything. But when the time came, like he was mad cool. He always supported me. Like anyone I always worked with was always mad cool and really supportive, and I'm super appreciative of that because he could have been like salty, you know, but he was like, bro, like do your thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
When Jacob was on here, he was talking about the same thing with Futuristic, and it was like, even Waz, you know Jordan Waz?
Yeah,
Wazzy?
he's the man.
He was we had him on here too, and it was kind of the same thing. He got found by Jacob. Jacob put him on to Futuristic. He started doing all his shit.
Crazy.
Same thing. Like,
and he's from Indiana.
Yeah. Damn, I forgot about that. That's crazy. Did you guys know each other?
No, we didn't.
Wow.
Right.
Do you know each other now?
Yeah. He's the homie.
Dope.
He's mad cool.
Tight. Yeah. He's fucking beast.
He's awesome, bro.
Beast.
He inspires me so much.
He's been killing it directing too. It's
OD.
been nuts.
I'm really stoked to see him. Like, I love his work with MGK, but it's just cool to see him do like other projects as well. And they're not even like hip hop. Like,
he
it's
just
like
did
alternative,
Chainsmokers, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Insane.
So sick.
And it was super dope. Like he's been crushing.
Yeah.
It's interesting though to hear that, like how Futuristic kind of is like the player in between, because he's like, I think for Jacob it was like got out and then started working with Kyle, and he was like, hell yeah, go do it.
Yeah.
And then for you it's like, yo, I'm gonna go work with these guys. All right, cool, I'm out. You know what I mean? It sounds like, I don't know what that's. I gotta get that guy on here.
Small world.
It is.
Yeah.
Everyone. We just did an episode about this. Was it 5 or 6 separations, Dave? 6? 6 separations of like everyone's connected to someone within like 6 people. Like you're always connected. Whoever you ever could think of. Like you probably could think like, oh, like I want to meet Jay-Z someday, and now you have Joey, you have me. You know what I mean? Like you really are that close to whoever it is.
Yo, and that's such a great like example. Is it goes to show like anything can pop up at it anywhere. Like literally the day before I got asked to go on Vans Warped Tour, my homie was like, bro, God has so many amazing things planned for you that you just don't see coming. And it really hit me like that day. I'm like, dang, like he's definitely right. Like I can't see the future, you know, and I'm working as hard as I can every day. So there's got to be amazing things out there waiting for me. And the next day I got hit up to go on tour, no joke. And that was like a switch in my mind, like, yo, I can do anything,
right? You know? Yeah. And super facts.
And that's just mad cool, like the interconnectivity of everything.
What was it like, the Vans Warped Tour? Because
gnarly.
I hear it's gnarly. Because you got to be gnarly. Like, I don't know if it's still the same, but I remember people were always like, yeah, like you have to be at the next stop like mad early to check in. Otherwise you don't get your slot or some shit. So everyone would have to like leave to get to the next spot. Yeah. Show up early. Like you don't sleep right. You don't really go to hotels and shit because you're just on the run. Like, what was that like?
So it's like, it's obviously a summer thing. Yeah. And RIP Vans Warped Tour.
I know. Sad.
But yeah, it's just gnarly, dude. Like it's in the summertime. It's like 80 to 110 degrees every day. And you're on the bus 24/7. All the stages are actually semis. And they fold out into stages.
That's crazy.
And it's insane operation. So like you get there in the morning, you kick it, you know, and you don't know what time you're gonna perform until that day, and then you get the show times, and you just do your thing. But it was so amazing. It was the best first tour I could have ever experienced.
I bet.
I met so many amazing people after the shows at night, like until like 1 a.m. You're just kicking it with everyone, and the different artists. Like it was cool to be around. Like Futuristic was like one of 3 rappers. It was him, Sammy Adams, and Watsky. Damn. And Futuristic and Watsky shared a bus. So like his crew and our crew shared a bus. So we all became super close. Right. But so I met like all these punk rock guys, and they're mad cool and chill.
So dope.
Yeah. And it was such a great experience.
What were you doing for content? Like what was your game plan when you started that tour?
We did like 1 week recaps, and then we did something he had called Sheesh TV, which was like a vlog. Okay. So like I always did the vlog, and I always, when it came to tour, like I always wanted to elevate like the quality of the vlog and the format and everything. And yeah, man.
How were you balancing that? Because I know
it was hard.
Yeah, you got
it's really hard.
12
honestly.
people in
you're
your
not
work
getting
spot.
a lot of sleep. Damn. And depending on how they live on the bus, you know, depends like how you can manage your space, because if all the tables are trashed and everything, you feel like you can't go anywhere. Right. But it was great. Like it was cool. It stayed clean. Like it was great.
That's dope.
Yeah, man.
So then, you know, you upgrade to go into Joey. You get the call or the text, whatever, you get it locked in. Yeah. So you go out on tour. Which tour was that?
The Americana tour.
Right. And you were on the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole thing.
So what? He just had seen your shit from... How did he find you?
I met a girl on Vans Warped Tour, and she lived in D.C., and I would go visit her in D.C. and hang out with her. And one time we were randomly like, yo, let's go to New York, because I didn't know how close it was to D.C. So we got on a bus, went to New York, and while we were there, I hit up Kid Super on Instagram, and he's like a really creative guy, designer. I don't know if you know who he is.
I've heard his name.
It was like, yo, I want to make something for you. And he was like, come to my store. Like, I commented on his Instagram post, and he responded on his Instagram post. So like the power of that is amazing.
Hands down.
Never feel afraid. Like, he responded to my Instagram comment, so I'm like, all right, let's go. So me and this girl, we went. He had like a little pop-up show going on that day, and I was like, yo, if you ever need someone to document your process, I would love to do that. And then I went back home, and I saw he had to make a women's clothing line for New York Fashion Week in a week. And I was like, this looks crazy. And he just said, want to film it? And I said, yeah. And I went there, and I slept on his floor with all the fabrics as a pillow for a week.
Damn.
And like documented him making all these clothes. And that was like one of the most inspiring things ever, not only for his creativity and his like relentless hard work, but just everything as a whole was insane. And I met Niles through there. I met Desi Hines and Aaron Rose. They're artists on Pro Era. And at that fashion show, Nick, Caution, and Kirk Knight were performing, and like all the pros were there. Joey was there. That's when I met them for the first time.
Damn.
And then while I was there, I was speaking with D, which was Joey's photographer at the time, like full time. And I was like, yo, if you ever need anything, like someone to make a video or content or whatever, like just hit me up. And he's like, do you live in the city? I'm like, yeah, like I'm from New York. But I was not from New York. I just knew, like, if I say I'm not from New York, they're gonna think that hitting me up is an inconvenience.
Yeah, right.
And in my mind, it wasn't, because I was down to do whatever it takes.
At the time, you were in Arizona taking these trips?
I was in Indiana.
You were in Indiana.
Yeah. So then they gave me the opportunity to document this thing called Storm of Support, which was like a hurricane relief drive when those hurricanes were going on down south.
Yeah.
And I filmed it.
Who did, Pro Era?
Pro Era did the drive, yeah, and I filmed it for them. Joey was there and everyone, and I shot it, edited it, sent it to them, and that was that. And I only spoke to Joey once that day, and he was super appreciative. Like, he was aware that I was there grinding, and then like 7 months later they hit me up, and I had asked him about it, obviously, like, yo, and he was like, yo, I just noticed like you worked really hard and you had great energy. And when the tour came, I was like, yo, hit up that guy Levi from Storm Support. And they did.
You want to know why that's crazy? Because that man's been around the whole fucking world multiple times, has seen how many motherfuckers in the pit, how many people.
And
like,
I'm just a kid from Indiana.
Bro, think about how crazy. I say that every time. When you think about how rare it is to land a spot in a seat that you would love to be in, like, there's 7 billion people on Earth. I say this every time.
It's crazy, man, because like I always thought, I always dreamed of this, these exact moments. And I was like, yo, like, I swear, like, if I can do this, it literally means that anyone can do anything, because there's no, like, I shouldn't be here, but the fact that I am here is an example that, like, I am supposed to be here.
Right.
I'm here for a reason, obviously, but like, I'm just a kid from Indiana, and there's a million other dope photographers and videographers, but it gave me so much motivation to like work as hard as I can, grow as much as I can, like, and just, that's what I continue to focus on every day, is like, how can I better myself?
Damn.
Yeah. It was crazy, like really crazy.
I love that shit. I love stories like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that shit happened to me a million times. And every time it's like,
gorilla.
what the fuck?
Because where you're from?
Iowa.
Iowa, that's right.
We close.
Woo!
We close.
Bro, Iowa. Like, Iowa, bro.
I know.
People don't even know where that is on the map.
Hey.
People don't know where Indiana is on the map. I'm like, yo. No disrespect to Iowa, I'm sorry. But I get it all the time. They're like, where's Indiana? I'm like, well, like Chicago, right? They're like, okay, yeah.
Who's from Gary, Indiana?
Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah, at least we got Freddie. Oh, I got Slipknot.
And yo, we actually have Michael Jackson, technically.
Was he born there?
He was born in Gary, Indiana.
Damn.
Yeah.
R.I.P. on some weird shit.
They say Gary is like Chicago, but technically it's Indiana.
It's like mad close to.
I hold on to that.
Yeah, you literally drive like, it's like the same shit. It's like you're in Chicago pretty much.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy, man. When I went to South by Southwest, and that's kind of like where I got discovered, quote unquote. But like, I was there with the homie, and then I shot for an artist, and he was like being managed by Top's son for TD, and that's how like they hit me one day when I was just like editing nonstop the whole South by Southwest. I'm making like little Instagram clips and shit, and they came in, they're like, yo, Musa saw you, and he said he fucks with the way you turn around content. He likes the style, all this stuff, blah, blah. He wants to take you on a TDE world tour. And everyone was like screaming like I won the lottery because I was like, it's you in the van. It's like that moment where, oh shit, my whole life changed, but it didn't, but it did.
Like you ended up in one of the greatest, I don't know what you want to call it, label, collective, whatever. You ended up in one of the greatest circles in hip hop history.
Dog. It was nuts.
Yeah.
It was nuts. And it was like bringing something new that they hadn't really had was like what changed it. But like getting into the spot was the part that's like surreal. You know what I mean? Like then you just got to close the deal. Really.
Yeah.
Like,
I remember you talked about it, like one thing led to another and you did Schoolboy and then you got asked to do Kendrick.
Yeah.
And you what was the situation you felt like that wasn't the right moment for you?
The money, the investment wasn't there. Like for what the idea I had.
For sure.
I was like, man, I don't want to go do some bunk ass like, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And
then you got...
And then B&J. Yeah, like crazy. Bro. Nuts. But like, who fucking knows?
How long did you hold your breath while running that Steadicam on stage with Beyonce?
Yo, Dave was the one that... He had my... He literally had your back, right? Yeah, he was fucking guiding me with the little... We had a carabiner on my butt, basically, and he would just like guide me backwards.
Oh, like pull you. Like,
yeah, because I had to... I would run backwards, and then we had stairs that took us from the B stage to the A stage. There was like 7 big stairs. But we never rehearsed walking up them. We only rehearsed walking down them because the way we rehearsed. So when I had to walk backwards, it was like... not muscle memory yet.
Yeah.
So we had like a whole little system. Dave would like, what'd you do? Like you tap me like 3 times when we were getting close, like 5 feet from the stairs. And then when we were like 2 feet from the stairs, so I could be like, eyeball it.
Got it.
You know what I mean? And go up. Terrifying. But yeah, I held my breath like twice.
I want to ask you, what is what is a really memorable conversation that you had with Jay-Z and Beyonce?
Oh, fuck. I don't know.
Because I know you had the chance to speak with them like here and there, right?
The coolest part is them telling me like that they like what I do.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I like what you do. You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know how random times where they just, like, the best is like when Jay's like, yo, I see you fucking it up with a camera and shit. Like, he'll say like the coolest shit to me.
That's
and it's
fire.
just sidebar. It doesn't have to say nothing.
For sure not.
But I think the coolest conversation was with Jay after, damn, where were we, Dave? When he dropped, damn, what was that Meek's album? Well, it's free. Free is what nobody else can. That was South Africa. We were in South Africa, and he dropped that record with. Was that whose album was that? That's Meek's album. Yeah, Meek's album. What's Free with Rick Ross, and he like it just dropped, and then we were all there. Guru was there. We're all just shooting the shit about it. It was like the coolest moment ever because like he's just talking about what he meant in the verse, chilling. And we're just like. All the guys were just like around him, just listening to shit, just like damn, and just having a real conversation with a song he just wrote that just dropped that the whole world was going bananas about, and we're just having like casualist it's like, yo, doesn't make sense.
Isn't it crazy?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But it'd be like that every artist Definitely. Like ever, you know, you always
that's the coolest thing working with an artist is, especially an artist that you look up to, is you get to see, you know, where their mind is at and their like internal creative process and everything. And
you weigh in on it. Like you indirectly are doing mad shit.
For the longest time, when I'd be in the studio with Joey, I would never say anything unless he asked, because it's just like, why is my opinion valid?
But then you drop that
But
shit
then
with
when
all
he
your
starts
bars.
saying like, yo, what do you think about this and that? I'm like, wow, like
he validates your opinion.
It's that's incredible, man.
It's pretty cool, huh?
It's incredible.
Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck. I love this shit.
Same.
So what? You go on the tour with him? Is it the same idea? Is it the same type of shit that you were trying to do?
Yeah, it was like, yo, let's do like a weekly vlog, like docuseries, and we started making these episodes, and they were so fun, and I loved like catching just, to me, really rare moments. Like in the first episode, he finished his last song on stage, dropped the mic, walked backstage, like danced up the stairs, walked into a room with Chuck Strangers. He was playing one of his beats and just instantly went into a freestyle. And I filmed it all in one take. That shit was crazy. And like stuff like that is super special to me. Yeah. You know, not only is like a fan of what he does, but just like as a creator and capturing those moments. So like it was always mad fun for us to like go through like a week and a half of tour, and then we would put those out and like look back like, dang, we just did all this stuff. That's mad cool.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah. And we just built off that.
Was the pressure really, really high for you? Were you like mad nervous going into it? Like, fuck, I gotta come correct on this first episode.
Yeah. And you know what? It kind of goes back to like when you have an opportunity, it's just like, well, I don't have a choice but to step up to the plate.
Right.
You know, and it's like you don't want to drop the ball.
Yeah.
So you just work really hard and you focus, and you also have to believe in yourself. Like, you're here for a reason, and like, yo, I'm dope. Like, don't second guess what you think about creating. Like,
right.
do it, because that's why you're there, you know? And most of the time they're going to love it, you know?
That's very true.
Yeah.
Because you come, if you already know what you're doing, you come in, like, they just want to see themselves look cool.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Like,
that's it.
We might not like to see ourselves or whatever on camera or whatever, but they love, like, Joey loves seeing himself on camera.
Yeah. I mean, he relies on it. It's like he relies. And then also, but it's like also being able to get in and kind of be able to lie into who they are and their culture. Like, if you can adapt that and show that through your content, it's like,
no doubt,
that's what sets, you above so many people, in my opinion. Like,
definitely,
you know what I mean? I see it, I feel it. Like, I can tell what it's like for him. I can tell what it's like to be on the road. I can tell what it's like to be on the road from where he's from. You know what I mean? You see that shit in the content, which is cool.
Yeah.
Is it I guess for me, like, when I had to make the first episode on Q's tour, I was terrified because I was like, I didn't know nobody. I hadn't met any of them before.
Yeah.
I only knew one person, the tour manager, who I met for like an hour before the shit. So I'm like, oh fuck, like, I gotta figure this out. When I came on, immediately everyone was like, hit me like the second day of tour, like, where's episode 1? And like, already asking.
Oh my
And it was like that, and no one knew.
That is honestly the worst thing that could happen to you.
It's the worst thing.
Like,
I hated it.
oh man.
And I'm just sitting there like, I mean, I don't know anyone yet. Like, I don't have a story to tell. Like, who are all these dudes I'm on the bus with? Like, I don't even, me and Q haven't even really talked yet. Like,
yeah.
But I just like would sit in a hotel and just stress myself out trying to like see what I did have. And I'm like, okay, so does this clip make sense? Who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're starting to piece it all together. But like, in my mind, I'm interested to know what your process was. But when I went into it, I kind of had, I think I said this the other day in one of our morning roasts, but I was talking about how I like, as soon as I got to the first venue, I literally flew to Michigan and met them there. And I walked in, I said, what's up? I don't even know if I introduced myself to Q. I think it was just like, what's up? And then he's just like, all right, the white kid with the camera, of course.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And I started shooting, and I'm like, I just filmed them outside. And then they left to go to the gym, and I'm like, kind of looking for the tour manager. He's gone. I'm like,
should I go?
Yeah, do I go to the fucking gym? Is that weird? Like, what's he doing? Like, he wants me to film him do squats or something?
Yeah.
And and I didn't go. So I was like, I don't know how to get on the bus. I don't know where our green room is. So I was like, went in, set up my Ronin.
Lost.
Yeah, I did, but I was still like, all right, I need establishing shots of all this shit.
Establishing
I started thinking
shots
like
everything.
What's the edit? You know what I mean?
Like, how can I bring people into, the environment, the experience?
Like, this venue looks incredible. Like this is what he does every night. I don't know. I tried to have some sort of edit in my head before I went into it. And then you try to add the character development like into
definitely.
it,
and it's also like a very natural process because you're not directing them in any form.
Right.
It's like they might be super antisocial for a day and you might not really get that much content, but it just goes to show, like, you just got to be ready.
Yeah.
Because you never know when something is going to happen.
Facts.
Yeah.
So what would be some of the things that you did, like, initially for that first episode? Was it just really just
so
fly on
for
the
me,
wall?
I was able to actually establish a relationship, like a connection with Joey before the tour started, because we were at rehearsals, and that's where I like linked up with him for the first time. And I took some photos of him like during rehearsals. They were going over the show, and that night, his DJ and producer, the homie Powers, released his song Pull Up.
Right.
And
Fucking
they had
hard.
like a little after party thing in New York, and Joey was like, yo, come through. And so from the get-go, like, we were able to talk.
That's solid.
And we spoke about, what we want to create together and everything. And so when tour started, my format was really like, first off, all right, where are we?
Right.
Let me get establishing shots. So like, we started in Vermont. It was super cold, so I got like the bus, and then I got like this. It was like sleeting, so I got like detailed shots of everything.
Yeah.
And then I would just film everything. What I'm known for is like always filming. And I've learned as time has gone by. I've learned when
shots.
to film, when not to film. Don't just like film, but film and be present, so you like are listening to what they're talking about. You could be filming an artist and not paying attention to what they're saying, and they could be saying something that shouldn't be filmed.
Right.
So
or they're saying dumb shit that you'll never ever use.
Exactly. So I just filmed, everything. And after the first episode, I understood more format in terms of like, pre-visualizing the edit and being like, okay, I filmed this stuff. I need this to transition into that.
Right.
And this funny moment happened. When I edited it, I could add this music, and maybe I could add like a newscasting cutaway, like hypothetically.
Yeah.
And so I should film this also to tie into this. And you start like putting things together in your brain.
It helps so much when you get to the edit
that's
process.
really all it is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Would you you said that you kind of you let them do their own thing. You would never like set them up to do something. But was there ever moments where you would try to say like, oh, Joey, it'd be dope if we went over here and did some shit, or let's go out and like, I don't know, or is he more spontaneous? Like for Q, Q is like, I've been around the world a million times. I ain't trying to do shit. I'm gonna sit in the bus, and then randomly he would like go do something.
But you had to be like, yo, this, that.
Like,
yeah, definitely. Like there would be times where I would put him on the spot and be like, yo, freestyle.
Yeah.
And or like we should do this or that because it'd be really fun. It'd be great content. I think that's important.
Yeah.
And that also kind of just inspired me to like set people up, because like they aren't gonna wake up and say, I want to film this and that. Like they're tired, they're doing shows, they're focused on their personal life and whatever they have going on. So I think that's really valuable to be able to be like, yo, like how can I make the most out of today, and what could we get,
I feel like it's cool to hear he trusts his team, right? Joey is definitely trusting you as part of his team, a team member that he finds valuable and can trust what you're going to, propose or whatever. Like, I feel like Will Smith is the GOAT at this shit right now. Like the way he's got the team and he trusts him, and
he has a crazy team, by the way, like a VFX team.
Yeah, I mean he's paying the troll toll for that one, but
sure.
like he for real. I think it's cool how you talked about like it's not like he's got to he doesn't have to do shit. He's Will fucking Smith.
Yeah.
But he gets up and he'll be like, what should we do today? And someone's like, well, what if we do this crazy thing in Dubai? All right, fuck it, we're here, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yo, let me go run up a bridge. And
all right.
What did he do?
He
what
like
dance
flew a
did he
drone
do?
on the top and did like fucking Millie Rock. I don't know what he did. It what? Oh yeah, Drake. Yeah. But like what?
He's a king of content right now.
The best.
Yeah.
He came out fucking with heat. But like what I admire about it is that he is willing to, allow his team to pitch content nonstop. So he understands that it's king. You know what I mean? So he's gonna go above and beyond to get it.
Yeah.
Which is dope. And I feel like a lot of artists sometimes like the shooter's always nervous, or they don't, feel like it's out of their place to direct. But I mean, these people are used to going to a music video set and then getting direct. You know what I mean? Like let them be directed.
Yeah.
So what's the difference of doing that on tour? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think those are valuable shoes to step into. Like take control over the content you're creating and be a go-getter, you know, because if you're timid, like it's not going to turn out how you want.
Yeah.
And so you got to be a go-getter. You can't be shy. You got to be, yo, bro, what do you think about this? Should we post this? Should we post that? Like, you could send them, and it's something I learned over time. Like, you send them hella photos, but maybe they don't post them, and it's not because they don't like the photos, but maybe whatever, you know, maybe they're not thinking about posting this or that. You got to be like, yo, bro, like, we should put this up. What do you want to put up? This, that,
right?
You know, because it shouldn't be their job to focus on that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something I actually super learned recently. You know, is to like. Takes as much charge as possible,
for sure,
you know, and step into those shoes. Yeah.
Hey guys, I just want to stop this episode real quick to tell you guys about, obviously we have our free community that you can join on Facebook, bwnc.com/join, but we also have a Patreon community, which is very private. I'm in this and super active in this all the time, that you can get patreon.com/blackwindowcream. Go to that website, check it out. We have several different tiers that you can get in at every dollar amount. It's like the amount of perks that we've offered to this and we implement. We spend a lot of time doing this. We have live streams, we have bonus podcast episodes, we have discounted merch, we have exclusive Patreon only Black Window Cream merch. There's a lot of cool things in there, including you get the guide for free when you sign up at the goddamn homie tier. So definitely check out our Patreon channel if you guys like this podcast, if you support Black Window Cream and what we're doing over here. It helps us keep the light on in this office. We have one light, that's it. So we would love to have two. So join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/blackwindowcream. All right, let's get back to Levi's episode right motherfucking now. So when you go, you know, you do the one tour, you knock it out.
Yeah.
Did a great job on the content, by the way.
Thanks.
You moved. So were you in Indiana at the time, or were you still in Arizona technically? Like where
with
did you
Joey?
live? Yeah, before you.
Yeah, I was still in Arizona. Yeah, and after the tour, I was spending some time in New York here and there, like bouncing back and forth. I was sleeping on someone's couch, and then I eventually made the move. Like once all the pieces fell into place, because it wasn't just like, move here, I'm gonna pay you, like this, that, all the little technical things had to get sorted out in the right time. And then I was like really planning to move to New York. I didn't know who I was gonna live with per se, but then one of my best friends that lived in Seattle that I've like always been friends with, another creator, his name's Danny. Have you ever seen
this is Danny who you sent me his IG?
Yeah.
Shout out to Danny.
He was like also moved to New York out of nowhere. Like, I just got like a startup gig opportunity. I'm just gonna go and move to New York. And then like we got an apartment together.
Damn.
And so I was really grateful. And I was gone. Like, I'm like, how are we gonna find an apartment by October 1st? Because we can't be homeless. And I was in LA with Joey, and he's like FaceTiming me like,
do you like this
found
spot?
Like a place, like he checked out 5 apartments in a day, was like, I'm having such a hard time finding apartments, but I met like a broker or whatever, and he's gonna show me 5 places, and no matter what, we have to pick one of these places. I'm like, bet. So he's FaceTiming me like, what do you think about this? And like we picked one, and it's cool. And
Where you at?
I'm in Bushwick.
Nice.
In Brooklyn. Yeah.
How you liking it?
It's awesome, man.
You feel like you could stay in New York?
Yeah.
Forever?
Yeah, not forever, but I love New York.
You think you could ever end up in LA?
Yeah.
Is that like your angle?
I think my angle is to like live in like somewhere like in the mountains or the forest, like somewhere out of the country. Yeah, that's like maybe like my angle when I'm much older.
Right.
But I don't have like a specific, I just flow. Like I didn't know I was gonna move to Arizona. I didn't ever think I was actually gonna live in New York.
Right.
It was never like I want to live in New York, but I always loved New York for the history of the hip hop.
Yeah.
Like anytime I'd fly into the city and I'd see the city, I'm just like, damn. Like
I know.
so much has happened here. It's
crazy.
Yeah. So I was always stoked on New York, but I never knew I was gonna live there. So like I'll probably live in LA at some point, and I might live in London at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just go with it.
That's fire.
Yeah.
What when you got to New York, what was kind of like hit the ground running with content wise? Like, were you immediately starting to work with Joey, or was it like a slow process? What was he doing at the time?
We went to Europe.
Okay.
We went to Europe. We traveled around Europe a lot, and that was life changing. That was amazing.
That was your first time?
Yeah.
Crazy,
that
right?
was insane. And it was like fly there to a festival like every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Brutal.
And back in New York, I was documenting like his everyday life, kind of just like, him going to meetings or him doing a shoot here. A lot of studio time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of studio time, and me documenting like the studio process, and him just making records and really spending a lot of time in studios.
Yeah.
Fashion shows, like celebrity things.
Right.
Yeah. And that was super cool. The studio is like one of my favorite places to be with him, because it's just like, you never know like what's gonna happen. And the coolest thing is like, I wake up, I sort of have a routine, but I wake up every day and it's like, I wonder what's gonna happen today. What adventure is gonna be. Because there's been times where I'm in an Uber, like the few times that I like might like go out with a friend and get dinner or something. Like I'm in an Uber, and then I'll get a call from his assistant like, yo bro, we got this, we're going to the Brooklyn Nets game tonight, it's front row, I'm about to call you like a Uber to the spot. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, yo, sorry bro, hop out this Uber, get in another and go. Like you never know what's gonna happen. So like I always leave the house prepared. Like when I leave my house for the day, like I have everything on me to be able to move, at any time. Yeah, it's crazy. Smart. Yeah.
Do you like the pace of that, or would you prefer, especially now that you're like direct, like you did the music videos, and do you see yourself directing more music videos? I assume?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So like as you pursue that, are you thinking right now short term it's like, oh, I'll just do Joey's videos, or are you trying to expand and like really hit
like
the ground
work with like
other
all
artists
sorts of other artists?
Start pursuing.
It's probably gonna get to that at some point. Like I never limit myself. So one thing is that I'm super passionate about Joey's music and his career and like his upcoming album and everything, and I want to conquer that with him, like because me and him have such great chemistry together, and as creators. And so there's so many things that I want to create with him, But absolutely, as I grow, man, like I'm gonna do other things.
Right.
100%. I don't think we should ever have a ceiling.
Yeah.
You know, it should always be open. Like I might do a Netflix thing, or I might do a movie. We might make a movie. I might make a movie with Joey.
Right.
Joey might be in a movie that I'm directing someday. You know, like
Be hard.
which I would love to do because
Yeah,
Joey is low key a director.
I know.
Yeah,
that
he
motherfucker is
edited one of
talented.
his first music videos, 9-5 Till Infinity.
Did he?
Yeah, he edited it himself.
I love it when when artists, not just rappers, but like when artists really like
Yeah,
can get into
like
an edit.
I actually see like me and Joey like making a movie someday together,
yeah.
and making music video movies together, and that's gonna be the start.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like I think I personally would love to have like that lifelong relationship with him.
Yeah, totally.
Not just as like creators and like working together, but like as friends.
We had CJ Fly in here. Literally, like, when were you guys here last week?
Yeah, like
For rehearsals?
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so he just popped in or whatever, and it was cool hearing like the stories of like them coming up in the early grind of being in. Joey had like the studio access, so everyone would be in there with him, and like being able to make those first early records and like that process or whatever, and growing out of that shit.
Yeah.
Which is so wild to witness. But like personally, being in the studio is like the illest shit to me. And same with you, I get it. Like
it's just so cool.
you get to, I mean, especially when you become tight with the artist, I think this is what everyone longs for. When they think about how many people, I feel like a majority of people want to be like in our position as of doing this type of shit, right? And so I think the number one thing that they wish they could experience is like those moments where you be in the studio and someone comes walking through and you're just like, oh shit, like this is a legend that
Right,
I
like
admire. Yeah,
I'm trying to think of a time. Yeah, like
let's hear what you got.
Like No ID coming through the studio, him free like Corday, like YB and Corday coming into the studio. They say what's up to each other, talk for 5 minutes, and the next thing you know, they're freestyling for 15 minutes straight.
Right.
You know, like all the pros being in the studio together at once. Different like amazing producers.
Do you guys have your own studio? Is it Joey's own
it's
spot?
in process.
Right.
Yeah, it's in process.
But he's been using like a commercial studio?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to think, man.
On
There's
tour
been a
and shit.
lot,
Like,
there's been a lot of crazy moments. You meet so many people, and sometimes you forget, and you're
I
like,
know.
oh wait, I met that person.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't know, it's wild.
I always felt like it was weird. Like I would love like the first few times when I moved out to LA and I started being around famous people and shit, and I'd be like, oh, that's crazy. I met this person, or I talked to this person one time, and then after the years pass by, it happens so often.
Yeah.
That it's like I feel like a douche when I tell my girl like, oh no, I talked to that. It's crazy to think that person I talked to, or this person. And I'm like, damn, I've talked to so many. Like if I go home, I could just be like,
You forget.
yeah. People be like, when you go home, that's the weirdest shit.
And the coolest thing is when you see them like over and over, and then you hit the point where they're like, yo, what up, Levi?
Yeah.
Or yo, what up, Ben?
Right.
Yeah,
It's
like I
crazy.
could see Denzel Curry, and he'd be like, yo, what's good,
Yeah.
bro? And like that's the coolest thing
Dude,
ever.
I met Denzel when they
Probably
played
a while
in LA.
ago.
They played in LA like last year. I want to say.
Last year? Okay.
I think. But anyway, when I met him, he was just like mad nice. It was just
Yeah.
in the green room, and I was just chilling.
I remember during the Americana tour, Buddy and Boogie were the artists touring with us.
Yeah.
And they've both like grown so much since,
Right.
which is dope to see. But like even on being on tour with them, and every once in a while, like we were in a studio and they would come through, and like so many cool people, man.
Dude, I remember
It's
Buddy Asher Roth would stay at our house all the time when I first moved out here. The house at Craig's house. Craig's house is famous. I always just shout that out.
Yeah.
But I would like sleep on the floor at this house. And Asher would always be there. He was shooting a music video, and Buddy like was there, and I didn't know who Buddy was at the time. And I was like shooting some Ronin shit for Asher. It was like all one take or something complicated, and it was hot as fuck in the valley.
Yeah.
And we were just, it was like a Lemonade series. He had this series called Lemonade where he would like sit down. I think who the fuck was there? I don't remember. But anyway, we're outside, and Buddy had one scene, and it was like he was riding on those hoverboard things, and he just had to come out of the house and like say one line, but he was like so high and shit. And every time he'd come out, and he'd just like start like laughing and fucking up. And I'm like holding the Ronin. By this point, I've been shooting for hours, and I didn't know who he was. And I was about to like snap on him. I was like, bro, it is one line. Please, I need you to get this shit. Like, what? Who is this? Like, why do we need this line? Like, I need to be done. Like, my arms are dying.
Yeah.
And that was my one interaction. I'm so glad I didn't say that shit. He's too fucking talented to say some shit to his face. Right. He was just like sleeping the whole time. And I was like, dog, why do we need his line.
He's such a character, man.
I'm so glad.
You want to know one of the other coolest things is when you can go to a festival with the artist, because they're mad cool with every artist in the game most of the time.
Right.
So it's like through like them, you're like, oh, like I'm standing right next to Jaden Smith.
Yeah.
And then the next moment you're like, I'm standing right next to J. Cole.
Right.
I'm watching Migos from right here.
Right.
Like, and I'm in a circle talking with the Migos right now.
Right.
It was mad funny. Like I remember taking photos. We were in Switzerland and Joey was kicking it with like the Migos and I'm snapping, you know, just some like BTS flicks. And my only interaction with Quavo, he was like, yo bro, enough with the cameras. And I'm like, say no more. Like, thank you for talking to me.
Yeah, right. I know that was always the thing. It's like you're always like,
right, yo, like,
do I go for it or what? I mean, they'll let you know.
You just got to.
But it's not a weird like,
nah.
Yo, you're a weirdo for
that's
shooting.
normal.
Yeah, there's like, yo, we got it. You got a couple. We're good.
Yeah, exactly. And you either get lucky and they're not making weird faces, or you don't.
Well, that's the thing too. Is I think people are afraid to be told no, but you have to think like they know what you're doing, and so they're trying to give the best side during that moment,
and they're also just trying to chill.
Yeah, they're trying to chill,
you know. And that's also one of the coolest things is you just get to see how human everyone is.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't know who you are. Like if you just walked in, you've never been around Joey and the Migos, they don't know you're Joey's guy.
Exactly.
You just be there.
Exactly.
They're kind of trying to figure it out, but
yeah. You know what's funny? ASAP Rocky told me that I was taking photos of him and Joey, and he's like, yo, bro. And then Joey was like, nah, that's my man's. And he's like, I just normally wear like, I got the black jeans and the black tee, and like, he's like, yo, you look way too much like a festival like
photographer,
like guy. Like you need like he was like, you need a Yankees fitted on or something.
Oh,
like,
shit.
And I'm like, word, yeah, you got a good point there.
Damn, that's funny as fuck. Free Rocky.
Yeah, free Rocky.
God damn.
He's such a great guy.
Man,
like,
I've only met him one time. And it was dope because when we were on tour, so I had done a Mary J. Blige doc. I like shot second camera and edited the whole motherfucker and shit. Yeah, the poster right there. Shot that photo.
That's insane.
It was dope.
Yeah.
And then I go on tour with Q, and while I'm on tour with Q, her people hit me like, "Yo, we want to take you on tour." And at the time, I'm like, "Oh shit, this Mary's a queen. Like this is nuts."
Yeah.
And I'm like, these shows are gonna be way bigger than Q's tour. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is gonna be huge, like real like arenas and shit. And then we're on tour, and Smack, who's Q's like best friend, brother, whatever, he's like, man, Ben, I told you're gonna get big from this tour, bro. He's like, Mary J. Blige. And then Q's like, yeah, man, Rocky been hitting me. I'm like, Rocky? Like ASAP Rocky? And he's like, yeah, he hit me like a couple weeks ago talking about how dope the content was or whatever. I'm like, and you're just now telling me, like, bro, it's Rocky. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck? Like, he likes my shit? That's crazy. And then finally, like, MacWap introduced me to him or whatever, and he's like,
so dope.
Super nice fucking guy. Someone was talking shit the other day about that whole thing. I put Free Rocky on my IG, and he was like, yo, he broke the law, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, he didn't go out and kill somebody.
Nah, bro.
Kids in my bar have beat the shit. Like, I saw the guy's photos.
It's just because he's ASAP Rocky.
It's just because he's ASAP, bro. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck?
They had to make an example out of whatever.
People be feeling like hurt about it. I'm like, man, it is what it is. Just let the guy go. It's just not gonna be dope.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I know.
That's gotta be weird. He's deep in the shit right now.
I know, man. It sucks.
It's crazy.
It sucks.
Fuck. I hope.
Have you ever been arrested?
No.
No.
We've been
that would suck. Close. Yeah.
I got jumped in Canada. My first time ever going to Canada.
Really?
Yep.
Like what?
Super whooped.
Like punched?
Yeah.
Like
beat the fuck. No, like these like big football linebacker looking guys. They were like security at this. It was like a South by Southwest festival in Canada. So it was like I was with the punk band at the time. It's mad long ago, and there was like a security guard that didn't like that they were like push moshing or whatever, and he ran in and like grabbed a guy, but he wasn't wearing security shit. So everyone started like whooping on him or jumping on him and like, you know, freaking out. This big ass football dude that looked crazy, and he got pissed. Everyone got mad. They leave. They got kicked out. They like all kind of sorted it out. They go outside and they were like, we're security guards, but we're off. But we knew you weren't supposed to be moshing, so we stepped in. But it was like, you know, some aggressive weird shit. We go outside and they're waiting, and they specifically were targeting like one of my homies who was like the guy I was on tour with, who was like this big guitar player. He walks out and they chuck a full water bottle at his head. And as soon as that shit happened, they ran in and grabbed him, and they were like choking him out. And so I ran and like koala beared I swear to God, this is what happened. At the time, I was way smaller and shit. I jump up on this guy and I just started grabbing his face and his eyes and just
like stretching
Yeah,
his
I just
skin.
started pulling his head because I'm like, damn, he's going to kill Zach.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he let go of Zach, the other guy, it was like, dude, my whole body like went in one motion and like someone grabbed me by the neck and just slammed me down. As I was
Oh
getting
my
slammed, I
gosh.
like covered my face and they just started fucking punching and kicking me in the
Bro.
head and shit. And my fucking shoes flew off. And
Did it hurt?
yeah, it was
It
crazy.
had to.
But in the moment,
that
it was.
sounded like a dumb question.
But the guy was holding me by my neck. He was like
Bro,
choking me, and a
that's so
kid ran in
scary.
with a skateboard and smacked him on the head. A kid that we didn't know, like, saved me. I got up, hit one guy, that was it, one hit, and
Yeah.
I got slammed into a brick
And you
wall.
dipped out?
Nah,
it broke up?
Yeah, and then the Canadian cops came and they.
Dude,
I'd only been in Canada for an
scary.
hour.
That's so scary.
Yeah, I've never been there before, bro. That was my first time leaving the country. I like was terrified. I'm like, fuck, we're going
Wow.
to jail or whatever. Like, how do you get to jail? Like on a horse or some shit? And
Yeah.
it was crazy. Have you?
Nah.
You haven't got arrested?
Oh, I have. But I was just like a teenager, like, I just got in trouble for some dumb stuff. Yeah. You know?
Was it brutal?
Nah, I mean, yeah, it was intense for me because my dad's like trying to teach me lessons. So he's
Yeah.
like, keep him here. And they're like, well, he's 16. We can't keep him here.
It's like, keep him there?
Like, you need to take him.
Yeah,
Like,
we need him to get out of here.
Yeah, I was, grounded. Had
Right.
to tell everyone, like, yeah, it was like, I had like a little like pipe.
And
That's
really?
it. Yeah.
Well, you were out and just they caught you?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was just really stupid.
I feel like it happens to a lot of like teenage kids.
Yeah.
Just like you don't know no better.
Yeah, but I definitely never wanted to get arrested again after
Hell
that.
no.
So like I've never gotten in like legal trouble for
Right.
anything or like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So this tour that you're on right now. Let's
Yes.
get to it. So
Yes.
well, no, first let's talk about the music videos.
Okay.
So how did those get proposed to you, or how did you lock in the ability to direct them? You
So,
directed
like,
both of them?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
directed both of them. So I'm Joey's content guy, so like his management and everyone is kind of like, Levi's like, the go-to guy. We could get other directors, but why? Like, we got this dope dude right here.
Yeah.
So they hit me up, both of them, like not a lot of time to produce, obviously. There's
Yeah.
never time, right?
Right.
There's never time. So they're like, yo, it was actually really crazy, the Left Hand video. So I had a meeting with Joey's management, some other people on the team, and they're like, yo, so we got this Beast Coast album coming out really soon in like the next month, and there's stuff going on constantly.
Right.
And they're like, this week is the week to get a video done. He was like, we got rehearsals this day, for Jimmy Fallon, and then we have this one free day here. This day, then they have Jimmy Fallon, then we have this free day here, then we have the Red Rocks performance. So that free day
In
is
New
when
York? The free day was in New York?
Yes. And he's like, so that day that we don't have anything planned is the day we need to shoot a music video. And I'm like, bet, like, let's go. Like,
I'll lock it in.
Yeah. So like got my team together real quick, never like hit up my dude that I knew, David Wept, he's a producer, and I'm like, yo, bro, like I actually didn't hit him up. He ended up at my crib, and I'm like, yo, I got asked to do this project, and then I realized like,
I need you.
So I'm like, yo, I need you, bro. And then like I got the DP, like my homie Franklin that I told you about, and they got the rest of the pieces together.
Right.
We figured out the night me and David met up. Franklin ended up coming over later, and we planned out the whole video. Like the energy was there, and like I just tapped into the ideas and was like, yo, we should do this, and then it'll tie together. And like
Right.
I figured it out in like 2 days, had the treatment. And we had like 10 days to put it together. And it was a very intense video, honestly. Like it was for a song called Left Hand, and that song has every single artist on the Beast Coast on it.
Everybody.
So 9 verses, or like,
God damn.
9 verses, bro.
And you shot
it's
them
like
all?
4 minutes. And I'm like, all right, how am I gonna make a music video that's interesting with 9 verses and it not be repetitive? So
Right.
I'm like, yo, like we found this like house in Brooklyn is like a brownstone, and they had all these rooms, and like we designed every room differently. So one room had like all these candles, another room and then it would flow into like this hallway, and then it'd go to another room with like foil on the walls and money on the floor, and then another room where we had like the stretchy fabric with people pushing through on the other side. So like every scene just like had its own vibe.
Dog, this shit looks fucking. I'm watching it right now.
Oh, good.
Justin, when you're editing this, please put this in the edit.
You should go. Like the colors turned out amazing.
The colors look fucking like fire.
Like CJ and 𝐅𝐻𝐋𝐋𝐎𝐖 are like some of my favorite colors.
The fucking wrapper on the chair.
So it was kind of like spontaneous, and I kind of put these artists in like scenes that like they might have not been seen before. And we just did it, man. And like we dropped it like the following week, like edited it real quick. I got a colorist for the first time, and working with a colorist is one of the coolest things ever.
The best. It's the illest. Were you in an actual color room, or
I was in a color room with like the colorist and everything for the whole process.
They had the whole board.
Yep, they had the whole decked out suite.
Dude, they could do the craziest shit
because David like knew the colorist, and so like he hooked it up and like for like the discounted rate, and like it was amazing, man. Like, it was incredible. Shout out to Alex.
Shout out to
Jimenez.
Yeah. Damn, that shit's dope. When I went to the colorist and I watched them, they tracked like they made the lips.
They can track the colors,
it's crazy.
Dog. Like I'm gonna brighten up your face, and it's like the tracking is like immaculate. They're like
it's better than After Effects. Like if you were tracking some other shit, like the lips you can make pop, you can make the eyes pop.
Cool, bro.
It's fucking dope.
And that's the difference between working with a colorist and not.
Right. Everyone can
people
say
don't know it when they watch it, but it wouldn't look the same if they didn't.
No, it wouldn't. Yeah. You can do so much with those cameras, like the shit. So how long was the shoot?
It was all day, bro. It lasted like I got there at like 9. Artists started coming in at like 12, and we wrapped at 11. We definitely pushed it to the limit.
With their whole crew went overtime.
Pushed it to the limit, bro. Yeah, but we got it done, and that's all that mattered.
So you did Left Hand, and then the next video. When did you shoot that? And you flew to Redbox? You were in Redbox?
Oh, yeah. So we did that. And then
finished at midnight?
And then I flew to Red Rocks the next day.
What time do you have to leave? Like early as fuck?
I don't even remember. Yeah,
Jesus
something like
Christ.
Maybe no. Oh, I think we left a little later because we stayed there that night and then did the show the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
And you cut the video?
Left Hand?
No, you edited both of them?
Yeah, I edited both of them. On Left Hand, I had an assistant editor. His name is 𝐼𝐻𝐋𝐿𝐼.
Dope.
Shout out to 𝐼𝐻𝐿𝐼.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always got to shout out my people.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So you get done with this one, you do Red Rocks. Yep. How long until you shot the next one?
Maybe like 2 months.
Oh, okay.
I think, it was like right before tour.
Right.
It was the same situation. Like they were going back and forth whether they should do it or not. And Joe was like, "We're doing it." Like, bro, I don't care what no one says. We're doing this video. I'm like, bet.
Yeah.
Like I'm with it. Like I want to do it too. So
they were hyped.
And we
obviously,
did it. Yeah, they were hyped. One. Yeah, like Joey and 𝐼𝐻𝐋𝐿𝐼 were talking about the video. They're like, it should be black and white. We should be on top of a deli.
Right.
And so like I found like a deli, walked in, the owner was cool and was like, yeah, you can do it. And like we did it, and it worked out. It was just that video was just a really fun day.
Right.
It was just about like everyone being together and having fun.
Is it in New York, and you might not know since you're like new to the whole music video scene of it, but like is it as complicated to shoot shit in New York as it is in LA? Because in LA it's like if I were to walk and shoot in a deli and the people pulled up, you can get fined.
So I'll just tell you from my experience.
Yeah.
If you're doing like if you're marking off streets and whatnot, which we actually marked off a street without a permit, which was insane. Yeah. You're supposed to get permits. And if it's a big budget and there's a lot going on, bro,
do it.
Get all that stuff because you don't want any issues. But we didn't have time for this one.
Right.
So, yeah, dude, we had a crane operator and we pull up to the location after shooting like at the first scene, and we finally see the crane operator, and he had a Techno crane. And we weren't planning on having that.
Right.
And I'm like, wow. So, like, I'm just like, how is this all gonna happen without us getting in trouble? Because we're on like the corner of a street. The deli guy was cool. He was aware of everything going on. The lady that lived upstairs, we got her attention the day before, and she let us use her windows to climb out.
That's dope.
And so like the guy is like a very experienced jib operator,
right?
And him and his assistant are like putting it together on the side of the road. They push it into traffic down the street to get it on the corner where we're shooting. And I'm just like, I hope this doesn't get shut down.
Yeah.
And the cops actually did pull up. But no joke, it was these 2 female cops that pulled up, and they saw Joey on top of the deli, and they were like, "Yo, Joey!" But like they didn't grab his attention, but like they were just cool. Like, the cops pulled up, they were cool, they weren't tripping, so we got to do our thing, got it done, and got out.
That's so
second.
dope.
One of the last locations on Joey's, it was Joey's block that we shot on with the Jeep in the middle of the street and everyone on top. We did the same thing. The cops pulled up and they weren't tripping. But after those cops pulled up, I was like, yo, before we do this in the street scene, we need to mark off the street. Right. And one of our Steadicam operator, Cal, had orange vests. And he just put them on some of our crew guys and was like, go stand at the end of the street. And they're just standing there like, keep it moving, and no one asked any questions, and we had no permits for anything.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, we just did it.
I know it gets like out here, it's very complicated, especially because we're like starting a production company. LA. Yeah, you get strikes like immediately,
especially because LA is just like production.
It's
world.
the spot. I know, but it's like they're really be on your case about that shit. So you have to tiptoe and.
I bet.
But just to get like, if you wanted that permit to like close down the street, it could take like 5 days.
Exactly.
But like people come up with videos
time for that.
Yeah, a day ahead of time or some shit. It's like, damn.
And honestly, like I wasn't worried. I'm just like, we're doing this.
Yeah, fuck it. I mean, it doesn't really ain't gonna fall back on your ass. Like,
right?
Fuck it. The shit turned out great though.
Thanks,
I'm gonna watch the left hand video after this because
awesome.
And it's 8 verses in only almost less than 4 minutes.
Yeah. So they like, it was kind of like, you know, when 2 artists will like bounce back and forth, it kind of flows like that. Right. So like their verses are like 30 seconds.
That's crazy.
You know, but
well, congratulations.
Thanks,
you knocking out these 2.
Yeah. I learned so much from them. Like I just learned so much, and now moving forward, like I understand how to take on a bigger production. Right. You know.
Are you? Do you have plans to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You scheming some shit right now?
Yep.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
So, tour starts. You've been getting ready. It's like big. I mean, he's
Escape from New York. Is the East Coast tour?
Is that what it's called?
That's what it's called. From New York? Escape from New York.
Beast Coast tour, aka if you're not listening to this, you don't know what that is. It's a whole lot of motherfuckers on this tour. Mm-hmm. Like it's the Beast Coast. And then CJ's opening and someone else is opening.
So
right?
Yeah, like the Beast Coast is obviously like a collective from New York. Just like it's kind of just a giant group of friends, like ASAP or then they're Beast Coast. You know, it's like just a big family, right? But like for this tour, the Beast Coast is made up of, on this tour, is Joey Badass, the Flatbush Zombies, the Underachievers, CJ Fly, Kirk Knight, Nick Caution, and Powers Pleasant. Yeah.
Is Powers like DJing?
He has a DJ set.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. And he's DJing for Joey.
I'm gonna for sure. I fly out the next morning.
After the LA show?
Yeah.
Okay,
but I'm gonna try to come for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we're gonna.
It's really unforgettable, and I don't know if it's gonna. I honestly don't know if it's gonna happen again. I hope it does, but this set is like really sick, and it's like once in a lifetime experience.
I love how you have like the strings and shit that make them fly.
So that cage. Which like I'll send you a photo to pop up, but the cage on the stage is you can climb up it. So like, and they actually just gave me a harness yesterday, so that it's a little less dangerous because before I was just like free climbing. Yeah.
Damn.
But you climb up it and like I hook myself to it and you can like shoot from over them and around.
Damn.
And all that. Yeah. Super
That's
cool.
fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's like a jungle gym.
The whole tour is what's it called? Those outdoor shits. What are those?
It's Palladium?
No,
not Palladium.
What?
Amphitheater. Yeah. That word always escapes me.
Palladium's like right down the street.
Yeah. That always escapes my mind. No, we're playing the Greek Theater.
Greek Theater, that's right.
Yeah. Is that indoors?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like a combination of like indoor theaters that like can take that set and like they have it so they can like manipulate it in ways.
Right.
And then like the amphitheater, which is where it's like the full blown.
So is it the same style shit that you're going to be doing on this tour? Like we can expect episodes and things like that?
Yep. And like something that I'm really focusing on is like shooting for a documentary because I think it's really important to have and like more of like a really cinematic film piece about, you know, why this is all so important.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm excited to see that shit.
Yeah.
If you need doc help, let us know. That's what we do over
I
here.
definitely would love that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because I've never done it before. But
it's a lot.
I know I need to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, what was I just gonna? Oh yeah, so for if you're listening right now, this is our plan. We're gonna have someone come follow you,
okay,
and shoot you on Wednesday. because I want to make a video. I'm trying to think about when the time this will drop versus when we could drop that on YouTube. But whatever. Yeah. If you're listening to this now, check our YouTube. If it's not there, wait for it. It's coming.
It'll come. Yeah.
But I want to do like a day in the life with you and experience like what it's like being on tour, which is dope because I've been wanting to do this shit, and I knew you were like, I was like, yo, he's gonna be touring soon. He'll for sure do this shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. I hit you. I'm like, yo, like this is mad important. I think it's really important for someone to just document the craziest, and you're like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, I know. I totally forgot. I was like,
no, I get it.
But that was because Nico's lived in Chicago, and I was like, oh, yo, where you got?
I forgot it was Nico because I remember I followed him, and then he hit me up before he went on tour with Corday and was like, yo, like, can you give me some advice? And I was like, yeah, FaceTime me. Right. And like we just talked for a little bit. Yeah, he's a boy. Such a cool dude.
I know. He's a great kid, and he's been killing that shit with Corday. Yeah,
definitely.
Fucking loving life.
Yeah,
he's
definitely
loving life.
He went up quick.
He did. I know. But that was the plan, was to have him capture you in Chicago and like get that shit. But I think it'll be cool just to like, being on tour is so interesting, and I think we can kind of shed light on that and also give some tips, like find a way to like do something. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Before, yeah, we'll build like a quick little format.
I think it'll be dope. Shit, man, this is dope.
Yeah, man.
The story's crazy.
Yeah,
I love that underdog shit coming from fucking...
It's super guerrilla. Like that's what I realized. My story is just like, it's an example. Like I said, like it's an example, and same with you, that like you can do anything. You know? Right. Yeah. Before we get to the Q&A experience, do you have like one piece of advice for the kids that are listening right now that are trying to get into this shit, that want to tour with artists and want to be able to definitely direct? I think just from my own experience, my advice is that you don't know what's going to happen, right? You don't know what one action will lead to another, and you don't know what's going to transpire from something. So starting out, like obviously using your own judgment, take as many opportunities as you can, because you don't know where they're going to lead. And like if you're trying to get your foot in the door, offer people something. Like that's the best way to get your foot in the door. Like if I meet some dudes for the first time, like when I met Pro Era and I saw D and them, like it wasn't just a trick, because I really did want to work with them and like create something for them. But I'm like, yo, like let me create something for you. Like offer someone to something, and more times than not, like you'll be able to get your foot in the door, and then do a good job, and they'll notice that, you know. And clearly, you know what I mean? Exactly. Clearly. So, and also just my advice is to just like believe in yourself and visualize what you want in the future, and like focus on that every day, and don't let anyone tell you anything, because like you can do anything. But there's no secret formula, like you know that, like you just got to keep going for it, and if the chips fall into place, they will, you know. And you can't measure your amount of success with time, because like I graduated high school 2013, and now it's about to be 2020, and that's like almost 7 years ago, which is insane. And
you're telling me, bro,
it takes time to get where you want to go. Like, it's not just gonna happen in a year, right? So you just got to keep grinding and building with those around you.
Fucking love that.
Yeah, man.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so we do a Patreon Q&A that I'll switch over to. They ask you questions. I think so. 30 minutes of prep. I'm pretty sure we got some questions up.
Yeah, I wasn't even planning. Like I was like, I'll hit him up tomorrow, but then I realized like, yo, we're mad busy. I'm like, I know, Ben, I'm here.
I'm so glad you did.
Let's go.
Like, shit,
me too. So I was really happy to come.
Have you heard of Cash Bunny? Have you ever heard of her on Instagram? She makes the craziest. Like,
yes, and I wanted to bring her up earlier, but her name was like escaped from my mind. But my roommate Danny is really good friends with her, and he actually put me onto her.
For real?
Yeah. And then I hit her up and was like, yo, you're so dope. And then like 2 weeks later, she started making videos with Will Smith and Jada Smith.
Crazy.
I'm like, yo, you're just crushing it.
She's
like
dope.
On every level. She does things, and I'm like, I want to know how to do that.
Dude, her and her team, they got something going. Yeah, like, they fucking Ari. If you follow him, Ari Farrow, I gotta send you. Send me his page. I had him on here, and he introduced me to her. Okay, and then she had me come with her to shoot some shit with Jada.
The thing.
Yeah, like her walking through. I did like.
You gotta tell me how it works.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, and then but she'll be here tomorrow, so she's gonna be on this.
Oh,
but then I was like, all right, so if I have her at 5, then we could do yours at like, you know, I'm like, all right, mentally preparing for back-to-back interviews is a fucking heavy load.
I bet. I bet, especially like keeping up the stamina and the questions.
Like, it's wild.
Yeah.
But anyway, Q&A experience. We're about to get to it too. I want to ask you what you would suggest to people. This is one of the questions I'll save. So if you want to do this, it's patreon.com/BlackWindowCream Squad. But I want to talk to you about like what you would suggest to a shooter that's on the road or on the go, like you do or whatever. But I want to save your answer for that shit. So it's like a perk to people who listen. You feel
Okay,
me?
dope. Yeah.
But if you want to listen to that, we're going to switch over to it. Patreon.com/BlackWindowCream. But before we go, I always let my guests pick a hashtag. Okay. So I'm going to tell everyone to go to your Instagram.
Okay.
They're going to put this hashtag in whatever your most recent post is.
Okay.
They're going to tag me at BenRealVerseWorld. Whatever you say as a hashtag. So
Okay.
we both know that they listen to the podcast all the way through. So you can pick whatever you want.
Wow, this is definitely a lot of pressure. And you want to know what's funny? I was thinking on my way here, I'm like, he's going to ask me a question at the end, and I'm trying to figure out what that question is going to be so I don't take 10 minutes to respond.
Yeah, no, everyone's always like, fuck, you put me on the spot.
Let's just do,
He's thinking, everybody.
right, I'm thinking of so many things. And it could be basic, but I don't want it to be
It could be whatever you
basic.
want it to be, bro.
Okay. Hashtag
He's looking at me
hashtag drink more water.
drink more water.
Yes.
All right. You drink a lot of water?
I drink a lot of water, no joke.
That's
I drink
key.
a lot of water. I hate restaurants that give you the little cups.
I know.
And they don't give you the big thing of water because
Right.
then they got to refill it all the time, but they don't refill it enough. And I'm just waiting because I'm mad thirsty.
Dave's like, agree.
Feel me? I drink a lot of water.
I feel that.
Yeah. So hashtag drink more water.
Hashtag drink more water. All right, cool. Drop that shit on Films by Levi. Okay. Latest post. It's going to be dope because in like a year, you're going to get a random ass hashtag.
Amazing.
I swear, it keeps happening. It's,
Yeah, yeah.
It's tight to see when people acknowledge it and go
That's
out of the way
dope.
to do that shit. Is dope.
For sure.
All right,
Thank
cool,
you,
man.
by
I
the
appreciate you coming and doing this. This is
Yeah, me
dope.
too, man.
You're busy
Like,
as hell.
I was so excited to come here. Like I watch your stuff all the time, and you create such cool content.
Appreciate it,
Like,
dog.
The drone thing you just introduced is fire.
We're about
Coming
to do
out
one.
the store.
We're about to do one after this.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I'm really excited now. I was like, this gave me just a lot of motivation and
Damn.
like everything. I'm really appreciative.
I appreciate it,
Yeah.
dog. All right, switching over to the Q&A experience. Yeah, heard. And that's it for Levi's episode. If you guys want to hear the Patreon only Q&A experience, you can get that at patreon.com/BlackWindowCream. I sat here and chatted with Levi a bunch of can't talk today. Who gives a shit? I'm gonna keep going. I sat here and talked to Levi about a couple things as far as creators go, how he goes about working as a freelance creator and builds revenue and all that stuff. We talked about a bunch of shit. So if you want to hear that, patreon.com/BlackWindowCream. And yeah, I don't know. This was a fire episode. I'm glad Levi came on here. Next week we have the legendary Cash Bunny. If you do not know who Cash Bunny is, please hop on Instagram and do yourself a favor because this shit will get you motivated as fuck. Yeah, I love doing these podcast episodes. It's fun getting to meet all these different people and dive deep into their life. Even these people that I've known for a long time, it's like I learn something every single time I talk to somebody and get to share it with all you guys. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these episodes. If you are, drop a comment on YouTube or a review on iTunes. We'd love to hear some feedback. We'd love to just, have you tell whoever's snooping around the internet that they should listen to this because it's fire. I believe it. I know you do too. Just drop a comment. Go out of your way. Give me 3 seconds of your time. All right, cool. That's it. How to charge a client guide available on BWNC. ShopBWNC.com. Sorry, ShopBWNC.com. Make sure to pick that up there or join us on Patreon and support us with the homies because the homies are going ham and we really love that community. So, all right, cool. See you guys next week. Bye.